preacher at the center of controversial comments towards the LGBTQ and Muslim communities is speaking in Calgary, and he says he doesn't understand why there's such blowback for something he said, quote, once in 30 years.
It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Johnson Suleman made these comments stating gay people, quote, had a demon inside of them just 3 weeks ago at his home parish in Nigeria. We showed him the video.
I know the clip.
When you see that and people accuse you of being someone who spreads hate rather than love, how do you respond to that?
I've been preaching for 30 years. I've been a preacher of the gospel for 30 years. And this is the first time in my entire life I've been asked this question or accused or tagged homophobic or what I heard. And I've preached in over 100 countries, and this is the first time this has been said.
Suleman suggests that we live in a world of opinions of people he respects but disagrees with. However, we push him on the claim that saying it as part of a sermon doesn't make it his message. But then if your message includes that even once, that would still be your message.
That's not my message.
Then why say it?
You know, I was a journalist like you. You're trying so hard to pin me to an opinion. No, that's what you're doing, and I like it. That's what I'm doing, and trust me, you're not going to get that. That's what you're trying to do. But you're not going to get that because what you're doing now, I did it for 9 years. But I'm telling you this message, what I'm telling you now is I preach the love of God. I think what we should do is to go into my other messages and see what I stand for.
He then took a different approach.
I preach all the time, not just one comment we made, and people actually laughed about it, and that was it. Nobody was furious, nobody was angry. They just laughed, oh, this man is just joking.
But for many groups in Calgary, it's no laughing matter.
What's mostly disturbing about the way that he talks about LGBTQ people as well as Muslims is a lot of violent language. He calls for killing, he calls for violence against them, smiting them from the earth.
We kill the spirit of homosexuality. In Nigeria, lesbianism.
Pam Rocker works with 20 Calgary affirming churches and says people's safety is at risk just by speaking out. She expects people to protest and even infiltrate the sermons, but wants police to be more involved.
They should be in there. They should be hearing what is being said. They shouldn't expect people from our community to go in and put ourselves at risk, at physical danger, and they should know what's being said. So some people say, well, it's said a long time ago, but there are sermons that he said 2 weeks ago that say these exact things.
We know that people will believe and will listen, and especially somebody in a place of power, of authority.
If you are homosexual, you have 4 problems. Number 1, you have a demon living inside you.
Hillhurst United Church says it notified Calgary police, a local MP, and the Prime Minister's LGBTQ advisor about Suleman's visit. The Rocky Mountain Civil Liberties Association says Suleman's words don't meet the specific criteria for hate speech, but there is a possibility he will say something in Calgary that could lead to a complaint. Some are questioning why Suleman was allowed in the country, arguing his words could have had him barred from entering. Canada Border Services wouldn't speak to this particular case, but says everyone must present to the CBSA and may be subject to a more in-depth exam. Several factors are used in determining admissibility to Canada, including involvement in criminal activity, in human rights violations, in organized crime, security, health, or financial reasons. Omega Fire Ministries is hosting the events, and Calgary Police says it's working with organizers as well as other groups to make sure it remains peaceful. In a statement, CPS says it will investigate complaints, but the threshold for comments to be considered criminal hate speech is very high. The laws around hate propaganda are very complicated and charges are rare. In Calgary, Crystal Laderas, City News.